ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Hello students, let us continue with the concept of chapter photosynthesis. For the last class we study about the site of photosynthesis. Very clearly we just have drawn the diagram of chloroplast and what we have come to know in case of chloroplast. So you clearly understood. So granum is the place. So granum thylakoid, this is the place. What occurs here, it's called light reaction. So very clearly we have discussed granum thylakoid is the place. What occurs here is nothing but a light reaction. And coming to stroma, stroma is the place. What is the main conclusion from the last class? So stroma is nothing but dark region, where it is proteinaceous in nature. Stroma is the place. What occurs is nothing but a dark reaction. So these two things are very, very important. Okay. So remember one more thing here. What do you call this? What do you call this? This is called stroma lamellae. What do you call? These are called, I hope that is not visible that time. I will just write that side. I will write this. This is called stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae is different from granum thylakoids and stroma. Why? Because these are connections. So this is called stroma lamellae. These are called stroma lamellae. So for last class we clearly understood that granum thylakoid undergoes light reaction, stroma undergoes dark reaction. Okay, now I am giving you very important statement about stroma lamella, very, very important. Just make a note of point of this. Stroma lamellae is lack of very importantly PS2 and NADP reductase enzyme. Very, very, very important, and very important, this is very important, just take it as a note point. Very, very important question, you may have chance to get as a question. But you do not know what is meant by PS2, meaning photosystem 2. What is PS? PS meaning photosystem. If PS2 is there means PS1 is also there, no? Where the PS1 is there, it will be present on the lumen. So inside the space of thylakoid, it's called lumen. Try to remember. This is PS1. One second. Yeah, this is PS2. PS2 is present where? Present on granum thylakoid. What is PS2? What is PS1? We will study in the continuation of the classes. But try to remember, I am just giving you an early point to keep it in your mind, so that this point you need to recollect it every time when we are going with the concept. So probably at this time you may be not knowing what is meant by PS2, but try to remember PS2, PS1 are nothing but major concept which we will discuss in continuation of this. Chloroplast means these are the important points to remember, very important points to remember. What is PS? What is NADP reductase enzyme? Where it is used? We need to discuss compulsory in the continuation of the concept. But before that, we are in the diagram of chloroplast. In the chloroplast, what are the important things? Chloroplast on the concept chapter called photosynthesis means immediately what are the very important points need to recollect. These are the important points need to recollect it. Again I repeat, PS2 I kept like a dot. What is this PS2? We will discuss. Where PS2 is present? PS2 is present on granum thylakoid. So this is called grana. Where it is present? Granum thylakoid. And remember, in each thylakoid, innermost empty space is called lumen. Okay, so what I will write here? Space in thylakoid itself is called as lumen. Itself is called as lumen. The space inside the thylakoid, is called lumen. Guys, where else you got the lumen term? In case of anatomy, in first year anatomy chapter, we have xylem vessels, tracheids, fibers, parenchyma. For example, take vessels or tracheids you take or vessels you take. They made up of sclerenchyma. Inside the sclerenchyma, the empty space is also called lumen. Right, lumen. Empty space is called lumen. Lumen means we talk about anatomy, xylem fibers. Inside the space is called lumen. And the same lumen term we use it for the space inside the thylakoid is also called as lumen. Okay. And regarding lumen, I will tell you. Here splitting of water occurs and lumen, it is called proton reservoir. So, at the end of the concept I can tell you, but because here this you can take it as a simple point, I am writing one more note point, I am giving you know lumen of thylakoid. These things you need to remember so repeatedly, so I am telling you lumen of thylakoid itself is called as proton reservoir. Why? Because it stores protons. Very important. Don't worry, I will repeat this point once again when we go with the concept. But mainly chloroplast beads. What are the important things to remember to understand photosynthesis? In that point of view, I am giving you is all important points. What you have to remember, granum thylakoid, in this PS2 is present, but PS2 is absent in stroma lamellae. In stroma lamellae, PS2 is absent. Where it is present? It is present on granum thylakoid. And NADP reductase is absent in stroma lamellae. Then where NADPH2 is present? NADPH2 is present in the stroma. That is enough to remember at present. Very important points. Of course, we go with the concept after concept, but where are they located means people will forget the basics. So, I am just giving you the basics, what we are going to discuss in the concept, where they are present you may not get strike directly into your mind after understanding concept also. So, try to remember the basic things, what we are talking, where they are present, definitely in the chloroplast, but in the which region, okay, I will tell you again. PS2 is present in the granum thylakoid but absent in the stroma lamella, very important. So, this is called stroma lamella. In stroma lamella what is absent? PS2. Stroma lamella is lack of PS2. PS2 is absent in stroma lamella. Where it is present? PS2 is present in the granum thylakoid. Similarly, stroma lamella also lack of NADP reductase enzyme. This enzyme is absent in stroma lamella. Then where this enzyme is present? This NADP reductase enzyme is present in the stroma. Okay, because in the concept we just go ahead, we frequently use this enzyme, this photosystem and all that, but generally people will forget and they will not come to know where they are present. So, this part is very important. Now, so light phase and dark phase are the two important phases of photosynthesis. Understood, no? Now, let us continue with this. So, this chloroplast contains what? This chloroplast contains what? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what? Pigment. Chloroplast contains what? This is chloroplast. Mainly chloroplast contains chlorophyll pigment. Does you think alone chlorophyll pigment plays an important role in photosynthesis? Meaning my question is, if only chlorophyll pigment is present, then photosynthesis takes place? No, major pigment is chlorophyll. Along with the chlorophyll, you find carotenoids, xanthophylls and all that. Within the chloroplast, we find other pigments. What are the other pigments? carotenoids, xanthophylls. So let us see the pigments involved in photosynthesis. Let us continue with pigments involved in photosynthesis. Which pigments plays an important role in photosynthesis? Okay, let us talk about pigments involved in photosynthesis. Excuse me, sorry. Let us continue. So, what are the pigments we say mainly? Mainly the pigments, let us take very important. Chlorophyll A, then we have chlorophyll B. Guys, of course we have even chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E are also there. I will talk about that part later. Okay, not only chlorophyll A and B, we also find chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E. 5 pigments are there. Under chlorophyll, altogether how many pigments? We have 5 pigments A, B, C, D, E. C, D, E I will discuss with you later part of the class, okay. But main pigments if you see, carotenes and xanthophylls, carotenes and xanthophylls. Now simply what we can do is, how people have discovered that they have different pigments called, these all are present, simply they have done an experiment. The experiment what they have done to understand the pigments present in the photosynthesis, they have done the experiment they have done to understand the types of pigments. So this experiment is nothing but what? Apochromatography. This is nothing but what? Apochromatography. What is this experiment? Paper chromatography. Now what they have done in paper chromatography? In the experiment they have taken what is called TLC paper. What is TLC paper? It is referred as thin layer chromatography paper. Guys, you will study chromatography in your chemistry. There you will study TLC, remember it is a small white color strip will be there. So that is called thin layer chromatography, it is nothing but white color strip. Simply what you can do is, you can take one what you call small arrangement of the stand on which TLC paper will be placed like this. What is a TLC paper? It will be like a white strip, very thin paper like, very thick paper like. So that is called as TLC paper. And how I arranged in the diagram? I place the slanting position, TLC paper placed in the slanting position, on which what is being kept here? Simply we can take the leaf from the plant. Okay, so from the plant we can collect the leaf. Why we are collecting the leaf? Leaf is nothing but good source of photosynthesis, and we make it as into bioassay. Bioassay, or it is nothing but what? The paste or a thicker slurry what we make it. Simply we crush the leaf, and in the leaf we take it into test tube. This is nothing but test tube, better you write completely, test tube. Take the leaf, crush it completely. You have to do what? Crushing of the leaf, and that crushed of the leaf, crushing part of the leaf, to that what you need to add? Solvent. You need to add what? Solvent. maybe trichloroethyllic acid, alcohol, maybe ethanol, maybe butanol, propanol, any of the solvent we are adding. So, you know, in biomolecules, did you remember we studied what you have to do? A part of the leaf or any part of the plant, add and dissolve into the solvent. So, what happens? The chemicals present in this leaf, this is broken part of the leaf, the chemicals or the pigments present in the leaf, they get dissolved into the solvent. That is called as what? A bioassay or called as what? Paste. What do you call this? Bioassay, or we call it as a paste. Take the droplet of the paste and put it on the TLC paper. That means the leaf, whatever the pigments are present, in that a drop you are taking and putting on the TLC paper. With this, what happens here? It starts. So, keep it for 48 hours to and 72 hours. Then what you can say after some time? After 72 hours, the pigments which are present in the leaf, they show dispersion, means they starts moving. Why they will start moving? Because here you have to remember different pigments absorb different wavelength. Different pigments absorb a different wavelength. Okay. So, one pigment absorbs shorter the wavelength, it can disperse very short distance. How much? Up to here. Another pigment absorbs another wavelength. How long it disperses? Up to here. Another pigment absorbs another wavelength. So, here they differ in terms of wavelength. The one which absorbs longer wavelength travels longer distance on the TLC plate, and you can see at the end of the strip. The pigment which has shorter wavelength, it can travel up to smaller distance and appears on the TLC plate. That means different pigments absorb a different wavelength. Okay, different pigments absorb a different wavelength, and based upon the wavelength they travel up to certain distance on the TLC paper. So, with this they could able to identify, one is blue in color, one is blue green in color. This they identified as chlorophyll A. The second one is something like green in color, that is taken as chlorophyll B. Okay, other one is yellow in color, or you say yellow green in color, then that is taken as carotenoids. Then other one is maybe they have taken as xanthophylls. Why? Because when they observe different wavelength of light, they could able to see different colors of dispersion. Dispersion means started moving to longer distances. So, here the one here sometime blue color, if you come down you have a somewhat a pigment color appears green color or yellow or somewhat orange. So, based on that the people could identify there are different pigments in the leaf which absorb a different wavelength of light, so that they are expressed in different colors. Okay, with this what they have understood is nothing but chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenes and xanthophylls. Okay, so what you can see is chlorophyll A, B, carotenes and xanthophylls. So, what are the different colors they can express here? Let us see now. What is the color expression of chlorophyll A? The color expression of the chlorophyll A is blue green. Chlorophyll appears in which color means blue green. Chlorophyll B is yellow green, and this carotenes yellow orange, or yellow red or yellow orange. They are expressed in yellow, combination of mixing both yellow and orange, or yellowish red sometimes, and xanthophylls purely they express in yellow in color. Okay, so chlorophyll A is expressed with bluish green, chlorophyll B yellowish green, carotenes yellowish orange, and xanthophylls is what? yellow. Out of all, the major pigment what you find in out of all are nothing but chlorophyll A and B. So, I write both chlorophyll A and B are two main pigments of photosynthesis. Are two main pigments of photosynthesis. Okay. What are two main pigments of photosynthesis? Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B are the two main pigments of photosynthesis. Now, let us discuss in detail about these chlorophylls, carotenoids and xanthophylls, right. Let us continue. So, let us continue with the same concept. Pigments involved in photosynthesis. What is the main pigment involved in photosynthesis? Chlorophyll. Let us talk about chlorophyll. Now, what did I say? We have different types of chlorophyll. What we can write? They are nothing but chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E. There are 5 types of chlorophyll components. Okay. In this, chlorophyll A is very important. Chlorophyll A is the main pigment, or we call the primary pigment of photosynthesis. The primary pigment of photosynthesis. Okay. Or also called as universal cheap pigment. Cheap pigment, which is the most universal pigment, meaning occurs everywhere and plays very important main role in photosynthesis. Means who is that? Chlorophyll A, very important. So, chlorophyll A not only universal cheap pigment, also called as reaction center, or which is also called as photosystem or photoreceptor. Photoreceptor. This all are for what? These 3 are for what? Chlorophyll A. Okay. These 3 are for what? Chlorophyll A. We have 5 types of pigments: chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E. But chlorophyll A is called very important role it plays in photosynthesis. This is called a primary pigment of photosynthesis, also called universal cheap pigment, also called as reaction center, where there is an absorption of light, where there is an occurrence of reaction takes place. In chlorophyll A, reaction takes place, that is why it is called reaction center, and it is also photosystem because it absorbs light. Light contains photons, not protons, photons. So, photosystem which takes the light, also called as photoreceptors. This is nothing but all different terminologies which we make use for chlorophyll A. And remaining all B, C, D, E, remaining all are called from where to where? From chlorophyll B to chlorophyll E, remaining all pigments are called accessory pigments. So, I write here chlorophyll A is called these 3 and remaining all are called accessory pigments. Accessory pigments. Guys, wherever accessory will come, that means that supports the process. Wherever you get accessory, guys, in the first year you know flowering plants, flower if you take, calyx and corolla are called accessory organs because they support reproduction. Non-essential organs or accessory organs, what? Calyx and corolla. Similarly, where else you talk about fruit, false fruit, if you take, or better you take parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit is also called pseudocarp or accessory fruit because it supports the true fruit. So, here these 4 are accessory pigments. Then why they support the process of photosynthesis? They support the process of photosynthesis. Then why do you think I kept so many star marks? B, C, D, E accessory pigments, but still they are very, very important. Right? Why do I kept the star marks? Because accessory pigments, the main function of accessory pigment, they protect chlorophyll A. They protect chlorophyll A or the reaction center from photooxidation. They protect it from photooxidation. Guys, I will come back to this part. Again, when I say what is light reaction, at that time I will tell you photooxidation. So, accessory pigments protect the chlorophyll A or reaction center from photooxidation. What is meant by photooxidation? If more sunlight is observed, then chlorophyll A will get destroyed. I will come back to this point surely when we talk about light reaction. I will just tell you sample. Chlorophyll A will be in the center. This is called reaction center. RC means reaction center. Surrounding what all are present? So, we studied what chlorophyll B, C, D, E, carotenoids, xanthophylls. Like that there are some hundreds of pigments will be there. So, this is what is called photosystem. I will talk about this point. Surely I need to talk about photosystem. What is a photosystem? Chlorophyll A is in the center, then you find B, C, D, E and carotenes, C for carotenes, X for xanthophylls. Whenever light is falling onto this, when so much of sunlight falls directly on the chlorophyll, then it will be destroyed. If so much of sunlight falls onto this, then chlorophyll A will be destroyed. So, it undergo photooxidation, means photons will make the chlorophyll A to undergo oxidation. If chlorophyll A undergo photooxidation, that means a complete destruction of chlorophyll A. When chlorophyll A undergoes photooxidation, then no more photosynthesis. Photosynthesis cannot take place. So, to avoid so much of sunlight passing here, what B, C, D, E, C and they will do? They absorb more sunlight and they will send very little amount of sunlight. They protect the chlorophyll A. They protect the chlorophyll A from photooxidation. They take so much of sunlight and very little sunlight. How much is needed to take the reaction to happen in chlorophyll A? Little sunlight will be sent to chlorophyll A. Little sunlight will be sent to chlorophyll A. Then chlorophyll A will be protected from photooxidation. Who will take care of that function? Accessory pigments. I hope you got it. Do not worry, I need to tell this point once again very clearly at the time of photosystem. Presently you try to understand. B, C, D, E are called accessory pigments. What is their function? They protect the chlorophyll A or reaction center from photooxidation. What is photooxidation? Destruction of chlorophyll A by exposing to maximum sunlight. Okay. So, this I will come back, I have to tell you this point very clearly once again, because when we talk about photosystem, surely this point we need to repeat it again. So, at that time you need to recollect again the total story. Okay. So, when you take this, generally if you take chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are present, are the two main pigments, as I told you, two main pigments in green plants, two main pigments in green plants. Okay, two main pigments in green plants. Then coming to chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D and chlorophyll E are present in what you call red algae and also present in brown algae and also present in blue-green algae. BGA, blue-green algae. So, if you take these are present in almost all higher plants, or better you can write green plants or are present in higher plants. Okay. Chlorophyll A and B present almost because they are two main pigments in green plants and higher plants. Coming to C, D, E are present in red algae, brown algae as well as in blue green algae. Now let us talk of chlorophyll, such an important component for photosynthesis as is nothing but chlorophyll. Let us discuss about structure of chlorophyll, very important. So let us study that. Structure of chlorophyll, if you look at, it's like a tadpole structure, It's like a tadpole structure. What is a tadpole structure? It will be like this. So this contains two parts. What are the two parts? One we call porphyrin head. What is called porphyrin head? Phytol tail. Other one is called phytol tail. Okay, porphyrin head and other one is phytol tail, contains two part. So this is called head part and this is called tail part. So where is the head and tail? This is the structure it looks. Okay, this is the structure. And then what is this? This is called porphyrin head and this is called phytol tail. Okay, so this is called head, this is called head, porphyrin head. Okay, this is called phytol tail. So it is like tadpole structure. So it contains two parts, structure contains two parts. What are they? Head part and tail part. Head part is called porphyrin head, tail part is called phytol tail. Where is porphyrin head? This is called porphyrin head and this is called phytol tail. Now coming to this porphyrin head, it contains approximately 35 carbons. Okay, C4 carbons, that's I can tell you 35 carbons, and phytol tail contains 20 carbons. So total with how many carbons it is made up of? 55 carbons. Head part contains 35 carbons and tail part contains 20 carbons. Now each porphyrin head contains 4 pyrrole ring structures. How many ring structures? Guys, you need to note down this. This wasn't there in your Telugu Academy nor in NCERT, but we find sometimes questions are coming from structure of chlorophyll. Why we are getting questions from chlorophyll? Because that is a main pigment with this photosynthesis takes place. So you need to take this information. This is extra information, but you need to copy down because not there in NCERT textbook, not there in Telugu Academy. So people who are simply listening, guys, make sure that you copy down this information. Okay. So porphyrin head contains 4 pyrrole ring structures with center atom magnesium, with center magnesium. So 4 pyrrole ring structures are being connected with magnesium. But here if you look at each pyrrole ring contains 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. Okay, 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. C means carbon, right? C means carbon, N means nitrogen. Each pyrrole ring contains 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. I repeat again, porphyrin head contains 4 pyrrole ring structures with center magnesium. Each pyrrole ring contains 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. I know, simply if I tell like this you will not understand. So, better let us make a drawing of this. I am drawing the head part only. Okay. So, if you take, better I will draw up. So, here if you take, so this is nitrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Okay, this is carbons. This is one pyrrole ring. This is first pyrrole ring. Let us take first a pyrrole ring. Okay, each pyrrole ring contain how many carbons? 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. I hope you all are following the class, right? 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. Like that, how many pyrrole rings are present? There are 4 pyrrole ring structures are present. So, let us take this and this, carbon, carbon, carbon and carbon, and this is second pyrrole ring. Okay. Then with the center they connected with what? Magnesium. Centermost atom is nothing but what? Magnesium, and that is connected with again same. This is third pyrrole ring, and this is fourth pyrrole ring. How many pyrrole rings? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 pyrrole rings. Center what is present? Magnesium is present. This is magnesium, and here each one contains 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. Altogether we have 35 carbons should be, but here where are the remaining carbons then? So, here it is being connected to carbon having a double bond like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and this is being connected with the oxygen. Phytol tail I will arise so that you can get the clarity. Okay, so phytol tail arise it. So, alternative structures here, the carbon will be having double bond with this, with the O, and here also down also see double bond O will be there, here carbon with O, these two are having C double bond O, and remaining 2, this is C double bond O, C double bond O, very important. But other side alternatively you can see, and here these two are connected with methyl group. This is C, no? These are connected with methyl group. Here also these two are connected with methyl group. Alternatively, meaning once with C double bond O, then methyl group, and next to 2 pyrrole rings are connected with C double bond O, next to 2 pyrrole rings are connected with methyl group alternatively. I hope you got it. Magnesium is in the center, right, and connected with pyrrole rings. Where are the pyrrole rings? First pyrrole ring, second pyrrole ring, third pyrrole ring, fourth pyrrole ring, and magnesium exactly is in the center. Now what happens here? Now alternative, these two are pyrrole rings connected with C double bond O, alternatively connected with methyl group, alternatively connected with C double bond O and with methyl group. What is this totally? This totally is nothing but porphyrin head. This is totally called as what? Porphyrin head. Now that continuation of this, so here if you take CH2, C double bond O, then CH2OH, and again H is there here, again CH2, again H is there, like that. This is tail part, this is called as phytol tail. So the phytol tail, what it continues like this, it continues like this, it will be continuous like this. So phytol tail will be made up of 20 carbons. Porphyrin head, what you find here, it is made up of 35 carbons. This is the structure of what? Chlorophyll. This is the total structure of what? A chlorophyll. Right. I hope you got it. Again I say, is a tadpole structure. It contains two parts, porphyrin head and phytol tape. This is porphyrin head, it looks like this, and this is phytol tape. Porphyrin head contains 35 carbons and tail contains 20 carbons. Head, if you look at, it contains 4 pyrrole rings with the center magnesium. Each pyrrole ring contains 4 carbons, 1 nitrogen. So this is 1 pyrrole ring, 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen. 4 pyrrole rings are connected to the center with magnesium. Alternatively, C double bond O methyl group will be there attached. This is totally constitutes porphyrin head having 35 carbons. From here 20 carbons attached directly, and that is called what is called phytol tail having 20 carbons. This is a structure for chlorophyll. This is completely structure for chlorophyll. Then we will try to differentiate chlorophyll A and B.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.